I want to do is I want to try to help you understand what this Powerhouse seminar is all about. This is the first time that we're doing this in the Oxford programme. The concept behind the Oxford programme, when we started this 2.5 years ago, was always that there was a very strong live seminar aspect to it. I believe that as social beings, as human beings, there's a great value in actually getting together in physical proximity and spending some time together, so that when you see me on a video, that's one thing, but when you see me live, you see that there is kind of hopefully something that you resonate with and something that you'll respond to, and more than anything, it kind of gives you the understanding that this is real. And again, reading this on a brochure is one thing, seeing it real on a camera is another, because I'm very respectful of the fact that for some of you looking at this, there's a big investment and it's a big commitment in both terms of time and money, etc. And why should you be attending this first Powerhouse seminar?
हमने एक स्पेशल लाइव ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइज की है, इसका नाम है द पावरहाउस सेमिनार। इस ट्रेनिंग को कंडक्ट करने के लिए डैन एंडरसन खुद पाकिस्तान तशरीफ लेके आ रहे हैं, और आप सब लोगों को एक I should say great opportunity आपके पास कि आप डैन से खुद मिल सकें और उनसे वो सारी स्किल्स और नॉलेज सीख सकें जिसको उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में खुद इम्प्लीमेंट किया और कामयाबी से हासिल की। और ना सिर्फ वो बल्कि कई और लोग, जिसमें कि मेरी एक एग्जांपल शामिल है, जिसने कि वो सारी स्किल्स अपनी लाइफ में इस्तेमाल करके कामयाबी हासिल की।
Now, my name is Dan Anderson, and I've been involved in the world of training, in the world of consultancy, in the world of business for longer than I care to remember. My normal home is in the UK. I live just outside Oxford, and we created something called the Oxford programme. And truthfully, the Oxford programme was a passion of mine for a long time, but it was also created to support a larger business venture within the context of a group and social media and social networking, etc. And as such, has been very, very successful. I have a great passion for this whole notion that things that I've learned from other people. Things that they've learned probably passes on down through person to person to person, down through long chains of evolution, if you like. So if I have anything of value to offer, then it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Now, I started life the same as everyone else. I was born naked, and I was born ugly, except to my parents. I'm sure they thought I was a very beautiful child, but I was born naked and ugly. And I grew up in my first 7 years were in Canada. My teenage years and education was in Sweden. And since then I've travelled throughout all of Europe, and I've lived in most of the European capitals at one stage or other, doing different business things. And for all of my life I have been an entrepreneur. I have worked for myself since I was 23 years old, and I kind of never stopped. Until I got to 42 and actually got my opportunity to have an employment situation when a company made me an offer, and I came in and I joined this telecoms company. I became a sales director and what have you. And so working in a context of other people is something that came late to me in life, and most of my life I've spent working for myself as an entrepreneur. I had a small business going back well, I guess almost 30 years now. I started a joinery business, and in a small rural community I was kind of a big fish, but I was always very modest with those achievements, because I like most entrepreneurs, I had bigger ambitions than I had the capital to fulfill. I didn't have enough money to properly fund my business. I had to buy machinery, and I had to set up a whole manufacturing plant, and I didn't have enough money, so it was always sort of struggling with cash flow and getting the orders in, making sure I got paid. And I learned an awful lot about business at the sharp end of doing a small manufacturing business. And then later on I joined the direct selling environment, and I became a distributor for a big American company. And that's kind of, I think, when my life started to move forward in a different sort of way, because I suddenly realized that all of success and anything that you achieve has to be done with and through and kind of in partnership with other people. So I realized that networking and working with people and motivating people and selling people, all of this is bundled up into skill sets that are not immediately apparent.
Dan की जिंदगी itself एक बहुत इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरी है। जब आप Dan से मिलेंगे और उनकी स्टोरी सुनेंगे तो आपको इस चीज का अच्छे तरीके से अंदाजा होगा कि किस तरह उन्होंने एक आम आदमी की तरह अपनी लाइफ स्टार्ट की और लाइफ की सारी जिद्दोजहद और स्ट्रगल्स करते हुए उन्होंने लाइफ की बड़ी बड़ी कामयाबियां और अचीवमेंट्स हासिल की। और वो खुद कहते हैं अपनी स्टोरी बताते हुए कि उनकी सारी कामयाबी और सारी अचीवमेंट्स की मेन बड़ी वजह ये थी कि उन्होंने वो स्किल्स, वो नॉलेज, वो टेक्निक्स इस्तेमाल की जो उन्होंने दूसरे सक्सेसफुल लोगों से सीखी। आई स्टिल रिमेंबर डैन्स वर्ड्स, जैसे वो कहा करते हैं कि लाइफ में अगर आपको कामयाब होना है तो आप कॉपी करें। और कॉपी किसको करें? ऑब्वियसली आप उन लोगों को कॉपी करेंगे जो लाइफ में खुद कामयाब हो चुके हैं, जिन्होंने खुद लाइफ में अचीवमेंट्स हासिल किए हैं, और वो लोग अपना एक्सपीरियंस और अपनी स्किल्स दूसरे लोगों के साथ शेयर करते हैं, और जब आप उसको कॉपी करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली आप भी वही सक्सेस हासिल कर सकते हैं।
Now I believe that the route to success for all of us is in one way or the other to be having a self-employment attitude. I mean, you can still be having a very, very successful job situation where you're working for someone else, or you're working for a government agency, or you're working for a very large American concern. But the attitude for true success in that environment is that of an entrepreneur, where you're trying to look for opportunities and try to capitalize and create something of value out of those opportunities. And this is what this seminar is a little bit about, because I think many of us, and myself included at different times of my life, many of us, we've had this thing that we kind of make a decision and we end up here. And then it presents itself that the next step is to go here, and the next step is to go here, and suddenly we lose this sense of choice, this sense of empowerment, the sense of when we're little people, we know that the world is wide open and we can do anything we want in life, and then gradually our dreams and our boxes get smaller and smaller and smaller and hemmed in, and we kind of start to cut our cloth. We kind of start to cut our dreams down to size because we don't want to be victims of disappointment. And the only thing that breaks through that thing is to have an entrepreneur's mindset.
Dan Anderson से मैंने लाइफ की बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल सीखी हैं, एंड आई कैन से दैट ही इज़ माय मेंटोर। और आज मेरी लाइफ में जितनी भी कामयाबी है उनमें डैन एंडरसन की ट्रेनिंग और उनकी कोचिंग का एक बहुत बड़ा हाथ है।
Now, when you're looking at this video today, you're here to see, is this something for me? Is this something that I should be spending time and money on doing? And all I can share with you is this. I have been self-employed and been successful. I have been in business, and my latest business venture has resulted in a business that's touching some 13, 14 million people around the planet. I came from very humble backgrounds. I have worked for Fortune 500 companies. I have consulted to companies such as Toyota, DHL, Philips, Tesco, some of the largest retailing businesses in Western Europe. As a self-employed training consultant, I was able to go in and offer value to these organizations to teach their managers how to do communication, how to do goal setting, how to do motivational skills, how to do presentation skills. These kind of soft skill sets, that is where I've spent a lot of my life living, because I became kind of successful in what I was doing, and then I learned the tricks and the techniques and the skills that go into being successful in a self-employed environment. I became successful as a sales manager, and then I distilled out of that what is it that drives success in that arena. I became a sales director. I became a vice president for one of the largest global concerns in a particular industry, and had a meteoric rise to that sort of level. And all of that comes, again, from what I said at the beginning of this tape, from standing on the shoulders of giants. I have studied with the founder of neuro-linguistic programming, a gentleman called Richard Bandler. Look him up online and you'll see who he is. He created a discipline that has literally touched millions and millions of people and been pivotal in both business and therapy and all over the place. I've worked with people like that. I've worked together with multi-millionaires. I've worked together with people who've ultimately gone on and become billionaires. I have seen people be successful, and I have seen people with more talent be unsuccessful. Because it's not talent-driven, this stuff that I'm going to share on this seminar. It's all to do with what you do. Success as an entrepreneur is driven by a decision. It's driven by making a choice. It's driven by taking small steps in a direction that is very, very, not peculiar, but very specific. And these are the things that I want to share with you on the 25th of March. I'm full of admiration for Pakistan as a country, because I came there originally because my very good friend Atif came round and said, Dan, you've got to come to Pakistan, you've got to meet some of the people that I know, because there is such a hunger, such a passion for success in Pakistan. And it's from my perspective as a Swedish person living in England, it's quite a controversial country in the sense of it's in the media and there's all sorts of things, but when you cut through all of the media hype and the media story, the Pakistani people that I've met have inspired me, which is why I'm so enthusiastic about doing this pilot program in Islamabad, because if there ever was a group of people that I've worked with who had a hunger for success, a hunger to be successful as entrepreneurs, it's the people that I've met in Pakistan. And for me, it's a great opportunity to come and spread my wings, if you like, and meet people that I would never have met before. So I'm very, very grateful for the time that you've invested in this. If you've listened to me this far, you really want to come on this seminar. That's what I believe. If you're spending this much of your time listening to me talk about it, you really need to be there. If you can't afford to be there, you really have to go. And I say that tongue-in-cheek, but the problem is this: unless you get success as an entrepreneur, or as success in however you want to define that, your choices will always be limited. Whereas if you get success in whatever venture that you decide that you want to get to, the least that will happen is that your choices will open up. And what I wish for you more than anything is that you, in the future, don't even have to think about attending a seminar and learning something from the people that I've learned something from. And so I wish to meet you. I look forward to coming over and sharing with you what little I know on this first pilot program in the PC in Rawalpindi.
Obviously, आपके अंदर passion होगा, आप hard worker होंगे, but maybe there is something missing in the mix, और वो missing keys of success आप हासिल कर सकते हो 25 मार्च को, the power of seminar. So be there yourself, bring your friends, bring your family, because ये opportunity is once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm looking forward to see you myself. 25th of March, Pearl Continental Hotel, Rawalpindi.